The request by saying that troops are crucial for the fight against ISIS. The president told Fox News that he'd be okay with pulling out of Iraq. Now, U.S. troops are stationed at the Al-Assad Air Base that was hit with more than a dozen ballistic missiles. The missiles hit areas of the base that were not occupied by troops, and CNN senior international correspondent Arwa Damon was the first journalist to gain access to that air base.
These used to be living quarters. This is where the troops would sleep, at least one of the areas. There is almost nothing left, nothing that was salvageable, we were told. The crater itself impacted over here, and it was one of 10 impacts that happened. Being here, it's truly extraordinary how anyone managed to survive, that there were no casualties. When you look at the destruction and then hearing all of the stories of the close calls, of the heroics, what we are now learning is that there was advance warning to a certain degree. They knew something was going to happen, they just didn't know what. And about 11 p.m. at night, those that were able to go to the bunkers went to the bunkers, but there were still troops that were out manning posts that, because of the security situation, they had to stay at. So people were beginning to take shelter at around 11 p.m. and then at 1:34, that's when the first impact happened. A lot of those who we are talking to are saying that it was unlike anything they had ever imagined. Of course, on the one hand, the training does kick in, but at the end of the day, this is a terrifying experience, a terrifying situation.
Arwa Damon joins us now from Baghdad with more of her exclusive reporting. To be transparent here, there was more of that report, but because of the difficulties of getting that signal from Al-Assad there in Baghdad to us, it kind of broke up, so we want to continue the conversation here. And there's a portion in which you talk about it being a miracle that there were no casualties. Talk more about why you say that and what you saw there, Arwa.
Yeah, first of all, we're still actually at Al-Assad Air Base. It is very difficult to transmit from here for a number of reasons. But when you actually arrive here and begin talking to the troops that lived through this, you realize just how dangerous of a situation it was. And on the one hand, the U.S. military readiness really played a significant role in the fact that no U.S. troops were injured or worse, and also the fact that they had advance warning. We don't know exactly what the intelligence was. That's obviously sensitive information, but they knew a few hours beforehand that something was coming. So at 11 p.m., like you heard in that report, people began to take shelter in bunkers, some of them actually sheltering in Saddam-era bunkers that were built by that former regime. But there were still troops that were out manning positions that they couldn't abandon, because remember, there was also the potential threat of some sort of a ground assault. The first strikes happened at 1:34 in the morning. There were 4 volleys happening over the course of about 2 hours. Those who were talking to here say it was unlike anything they have ever experienced. So remember, these are troops that are used to mortars coming in. Many of them have seen combat. Some are on multiple tours to Iraq. This, everyone said, was like nothing they had ever experienced. We're hearing all sorts of stories of very close calls, of a missile impacting just a few feet away from where people were sheltering inside a bunker, and because a T-wall fell over, they think that that's why those lives were saved. Other stories of how one soldier was jumping out of a guard tower just as missiles were landing around. So you do really get the sense that there were a number of factors at play that night for those who were here at the Al-Assad Air Base. There was the fact that precautions were taken, that they had this advance warning from their intelligence, but also that they were able to continue to operate to a certain degree, do rounds, try to move people out of harm's way as this was all unfolding. Very, very dramatic scenes here.
Arwa Damon for us, the first Western journalist to get access to Al-Assad Air Base. where those missiles struck last Thursday. Oliver, thank you for that exclusive reporting. We've got more of the breaking news. Iran accepting responsibility for shooting down that Ukrainian jet, 176 people on board. It continues at the top of the hour.